Hello, everybody. Good morning. Well, I guess good afternoon now because it's 1. It's still the morning for me. How are you guys? I'm tired today. Okay, we're getting up there. I don't know if a lot of you, I guess good evening. Yeah. Ooh. I'm just doing a check-in live, like we've been doing kind of weekly. Kind of see how everyone's doing, what's going on, how awesome you thought the documentary was. You know, just standard stuff. Good, how are things? We're good. Scotland's extended the lockdown measure for another 3 weeks, so I'm trying to figure out things to do for the next 3 weeks. Oh my god. Good luck, I understand. Tired but still dancing, that's right. 4 p.m. Okay, so how am I and the girls? The girls are good. Stella's sitting in my chair. The beard is coming back, slowly. Very slowly. How many of you saw the doc? You loved, okay. Oh, thank you. Do I think Gallo will move to squad? You know, I don't know. They haven't talked to me at all about that. I think Gallo has the skill set and mindset that squad would appreciate. But I also feel that Gallo really likes being under Casey. So we'll see. I haven't talked to anyone about it, though. That'd be cool. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed the documentary, though. Rita, thank you for buying it. Thank you guys. I just want to check in because, like, you know, I have my Instagram and that's great and stuff. And while I appreciate all of the support I receive on my Instagram, oftentimes I feel like it's not focused or directed in the way that I intend. So that's why I like checking in with my Rosende Reads group, because I feel like we've been practicing analyzing art for like 3 years now when we read books. So I was like, oh, it'd be really cool to see how what you guys specifically thought. Your comments, your questions, your concerns. I'm glad you enjoyed the red carpet. That was, it was kind of crazy because Vimeo stopped working. We had to do a bunch of stuff, but Tessa really made that come together and I'm glad it worked. Best dress goes to Tessa. I completely agree.
I don't know, Chicago looks really good.
Tessa and I both agreed that Chicago did step up the carpet game. Like, they're the ones that threw it into the next realm. And I think Tessa put the cherry on top. I agree. It's nice having this check-in, especially right now with everything going on. Good. I'm glad you feel that way, Carrie. I feel the same way. I'm not good staying inside a lot either. It doesn't feel good for me. So it's nice to have social groups. Say, Becca and Liv, hey! The next book this book club's going to read will be In Cold Blood. In Cold Blood. Now, ever since I made that True Blood mix-up, I'm like, oh god, am I saying it right? You know, we've kind of chilled on Fortnite now. I think we've played that course, not to mention we both are pretty much done with the Battle Pass, so we're waiting for the next one, which comes out in June. We played all day on May 4th, though. May the 4th, we played Fortnite all day. They had lightsabers. It was awesome. I was Kylo Ren, and that sometimes I got Kylo Ren's lightsaber, and I was wrecking people. So Fortnite's been going okay. Reading, I need to get back on. I'm really good when I'm busy, and when I have nothing to do, I can't get anything done. My manager says it's like a famous phrase: if you want to get something done, give it to a busy person. because they'll find time. Whereas if you give it to a person that has time, they won't make time.
That's what I used in my student council interview in grade 11.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to get something done? Give it to a busy person.
Well, they said I was proud of it.
So yeah, it's been weird. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm not working out the way I should. I'm getting out of shape. I finally have nothing to do and I'm going nuts. I'm really, really glad you guys enjoyed the documentary, though. But I want to know. I mean, a lot of us in this book club aren't American, so I'm just curious to see like what you took in, what moments affected you. We also have we had a lot of really cool interviews, like the interviews that we ended up making the movie. I thought they were all so insightful and just wonderful. And I actually have to text my friend Asher, who was in it. He went to college with me, Asher. He was actually in my acting class, so I need to text him to be like, "Yo, dude. Killed it." I own him. I owe him a text. I owe him a text. I gotta do that. Do you have any other titles for us to read? I picked up Cat's Cradle by Kurt Vonnegut. Because I've picked it up so many times, and I'm like, I'm gonna read it. And then I read like the first 2 chapters and I put it down. The thing is, the chapters are like a couple pages, so literally I read like the first 30 pages, and then I'm like, okay, I'll read this later, and I don't. So I would recommend that, because it has one of my favorite first lines of a book. Call me Jonah. I'm on my way to start a book after the suggestion from you and Miranda. Oh my gosh, that book is crazy. Many Lives, Many Masters. It's amazing, amazing. I think you'll enjoy it. Okay, so I haven't read the book that we're currently on, though I have read something called Sapiens, and it's really interesting, but it flows really good. Highly suggest. I have Sapiens in the library. It's been in the library for 7 months, and I look at it all the time, and I'm like, I need to start that. I need to start that. It was on President Obama's favorite books that he read, I think 3 years ago. Whenever it came out, it was on his list, and that's why I bought it. Favorite quarantine movie or TV show? Well, we finished Outsider. And then we're starting Penny Dreadful soon, so Dom Show, check it out. Oh my gosh, since the red carpet, a lot of people think Dom moved to Kent. No, Dom moved in Los Angeles. He still lives 10 minutes away from me. He's just from Kent. I didn't watch any Star Wars on Star Wars Day. Oh, I'm going to skip back down to the bottom of the comments, the questions. I honestly love to know how... Okay, here we go. Okay, as a non-American, that really just proved a point I had in mind for so long. America's always represented like this super reachable dream, like the best life you'll ever get, but that's definitely just not that. America's just not cheerleaders and lockers in high school. We don't have that kind of stuff here, and there's definitely more behind it. Yes. We need to read the Library of Mount Char together. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. That's probably going to be the first book for next year. So just everyone start buying that book. The Library of Mount Char. I was always interested by American. Documentary opened my mind and eyes about a passionate perspective. Good. And yes, Kurt Vonnegut's probably my favorite writer. What? I ain't America, but for me, I walked away thinking we're all people. I know it sounds a bit stupid, but America, British, whatever, we're all people. For some reason that hit me. And that's one of the things I think Diego really wanted to touch on, is that every person has a reason for being the way they are, and once we get to understand that, we probably can move forward. I honestly love to know how different people from different states have the same mentality on doing something for their country, but they all do it in a different way. It's pretty cool. The past week has been tough for me. One of our local paramedics passed away due to the virus, and it was his funeral today. Oh man, and obviously no one could attend. A sad day in Camp Beltown, Scotland. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Not just that. Okay, okay. You started reading The Count of Monte Cristo at Easter, and you only have 350 pages to go. It is a long book. That's why we didn't read it in this form, but I guarantee you that you're enjoying it, and I actually showed Tessa the movie for the first time. As you know, the movie's different from the book in a lot of ways. I didn't tell Tessa that yet. But the movie's incredible. So I showed her the movie, and then we'll probably read the book. I love Zoe's interview, and the way she talked about what being patriotic meant to her was really interesting to listen. And it resonated with me. I think it was also very different, yet enlightening view of America from non-Americans, not just stereotypes. And I think that's Zoe's interviews was one of the most powerful to me, because it's amazing to hear a perspective of America from someone that's not white. You know, for people of different genders, races, ethnicities, cultures, and religions, America is a completely different country. The first experience I ever had in recognizing that was when I was speaking to this amazing trans artist that I know. Her name is B. And when she was kind of describing to me the world that she lives in, that was like one of the first times that I was like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what that means. And I think that's important to recognize that. And Zoe was just so smart. Like, her interview was so... It was literally perfect, you know? From a filmmaker's perspective, I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, I can't believe we got that interview for the end of the movie. Like, a perfect bow to everything we've been saying, but also a deeper question, and it's not someone just being like, rah, rah, the flag. It's someone being like, yo, there's a lot wrong. There's a lot wrong. But that, me pointing that out doesn't mean anything wrong. It's a good thing. You know, I thought it was cool. Mandalorian, I know, I didn't watch anything. I didn't watch any Star Wars. But I played as Kylo Ren pretty much. How long did we play on the 4th? How long did we play for Lightsaber Day? We played a few hours. Right?
I don't know.
We played a bit.
I didn't feel like it was that long.
And then in the game, you could even use your lightsaber to like defend stuff.
So cool.
It was kind of unfair though, because like, if you didn't have a lightsaber, they could destroy you, right?
Yeah, but for like once in my life, I felt like I was untouchable.
Yeah. The show Bull, Katrin Moser? I think I have friends that were on that. Sophie, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. I haven't read it, but I watched the movie, and the movie's great. So I can only imagine that the book is heart-wrenching and amazing. All right. Tess and I were watching this the other day. I know we read the Great Gatsby, and we thought it was amazing. If you want to read and see the original Great Gatsby, it's The Count of Monte Cristo. That's the original Great Gatsby. I found, watching it this time, I saw so many similarities, except Gatsby's different because it's told from the perspective of an outside friend, Nick Carraway, right? Who comes in, and it's Nick Carraway's, we don't know with whom he's speaking. That's why in the movie they made it that it's like a therapist or something. No, I guess, is it that we know he's speaking to a therapist? I don't know. This one is done from the Count of Monte Cristo's perspective, right? Or Edmond Dantes' perspective, so it's pretty epic. Have I read Rant by Chuck Palahniuk? No, I haven't. I have 2 of his books. I have, obviously, Clockwork Orange. Not Clockwork Orange, that's a different guy. I have Fight Club, and then I also have another book he wrote recently that he was trying. Actually, he reached out to me on Twitter when that book came out. Because I think he'd seen that we were doing Rosende Read stuff, but I didn't. It's like Diego said in his interviews, trying to understand where a person is coming from before you judge them. I think we all end up judging people sometimes without even realizing it. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's part of humanity. Like, one of the things Shakespeare talks about is with, you know, okay, so in Hamlet, maybe we all should read Hamlet together. That'd be cool. In Hamlet, Shakespeare has Hamlet give the speech to the players before he puts on the show for his uncle and mother, right? And it's kind of funny. Actually, I carry that around because it's really important. So in Hamlet's advice to the players, this is actually, there used to be the drama book shop in New York. I think it's still open, and they used to sell these at the front so you could have them. Anyway, for anything so or done is from the purpose of playing, whose end both at first and now was and is, to hold, as 'twere, the mirror up to nature, to show the virtue of her own feature, scorn her own image, and the very age and body of the time, his form and pressure. So like, holding a mirror up to nature, that idea is like we're reflecting what we see to the world so that the world maybe can better understand it, right? I feel like people do that regardless of whether or not they're watching theater. That the world is always kind of a reflection of who they are. How they see it is always a reflection of, like, you know? And that's interesting. And then, you know, Brecht was like, okay, Hamlet, I get it. Mirror up to nature. I don't want to be a mirror. I want to be a hammer and chisel with my art, which I think is pretty cool. And I think art kind of falls in between being both. Cool. Okay, I'm catching up on everything, so just let me kind of read through. I think Asher Jordan had an interesting segment as well. Yeah, he did. I mean, his was really cool because he said one of the most important lines, I think, in the film. He's like, and I don't think that's, like, first of all, there's a right way and there's a wrong way to hate your country. And Seattle's been doing the right way for a long time. It's called punk rock. It's called grunge. And I'm like, that's true. It's a way to voice your concerns about the society in which you live, hopefully to enact change, right? To actively do something. And then he's like, and I think that's not necessarily a bad thing to hate your country. Actually, I think that's one of the best things, to choose when you have pride in something and when you don't. That is a freedom we have. And I think that was also like one of the most important things. People think that the minute you say something bad about your country, especially right now, or the minute you don't want to respect a flag that you feel doesn't represent you, that's your right. That is absolutely 100% your right in this country, to choose when you can feel pride or when you want to. I thought that was like such a cool idea. The documentary was really hopeful, interesting, and beautiful. That was one of my biggest things out of it, was the hope that Diego was able to capture in a particularly unhopeful time. Unhopeful, or is it hopeless? In a particularly hopeless time. Like, summer before the election of the current administration was a very stressful time in this country, and Diego managed to find this through line of hope. Oh, cool. Thank you, Camille. Cosmos, the Neil deGrasse Tyson documentary series that I talked about, is available on Disney Plus in France. So if you're in France and you want to check it out, it's on Disney Plus. It's pretty cool. And the first episode is really great. I have it on the PlayStation, and we just got it on the Switch, so that we could, if we had to do, you know, when that concert was going on or something. Oh my gosh, tomorrow is that concert. So it's like Call of Duty, where the goal is to be the last person standing. And you do that by using weapons to defeat your opponents. Now, unlike Call of Duty and other first-person shooters, you have the ability to interact with your environment and take materials from trees, stones, houses, boats, anything that's pretty much there. And then you can use those materials to build walls and ramps and stuff to make safe if someone attacks you. So if you become attacked, you can use that. It's complicated in the beginning, but the more you play, the easier it gets naturally. Just like anything, the more you do it, the better you get. And it's pretty fun. Okay, I'm just scrolling down. I'm scrolling down. All of Gabriel Garcia Marquez's books take a long time to read. Currently reading Love in the Time of Cholera. Diego just read that, and he loved it. He literally called me about it. I want to read 100 Years of Solitude. I just know it's a difficult read. And I like reading things I feel like we can easily talk about. I like things that feel like they're going to challenge us. Maybe. I have the summer. After In Cold Blood, we'll take our little break and then I'll assess, but keep your eyes open. We might see some Gabriel Garcia Marquez or Isabel Allende. We don't know. We'll see. Season 4. Aw, tell your mama to say hi, Carrie. Weird things are happening. It's magical realism. I really want to read magical realism. I know my mom speaks about it very fondly. Also, she's Colombian, so. Would I want to do another documentary one day? Maybe. If the subject matter, if I find something that I think is, if I find a story I want to tell. Oh my God! Really? I didn't say that. Yeah, you've got F. Scott Fitzgerald and Zelda Fitzgerald in there. You've got my favorite is Corey, who plays Hemingway. I love his performance. So self-effacing. It's unmanly. You want to be the best writer. Say you're the best writer, but not while I'm around. Unless you want to put the gloves on and fight about it. Love that line. I've never read any Korean literature, I don't believe. That's really fascinating. Well, Lexi, you start with an idea. Well, not really an idea. You start with a story or a question. In Midnight in Paris, Owen Wilson goes to a famous filmmaker and says, "Here, I got an idea for you. What about these 4 people are in a room and they can't leave?" And the guy's like, "Well, why can't they leave the room?" He goes, "I don't know. Isn't that interesting?" He's like, "But why can't they leave the room?" He goes, "I think it's just a cool idea." He's like, "But you didn't answer. Why can't they leave the room?" And Owen Wilson's like, "I don't know. Think about it." And he walks away. And then that filmmaker eventually makes a very famous film about 4 people that can't leave a room. And it's funny because in the exploration of that question, he found a story that he wanted to tell her. Or he wanted to explore that question in that form. So I think that might be part of it. I don't know. Ooh. All right. Thank you guys for checking in with me. I know it was a short live, but I just wanted to be a short little touch base, check in. We're finishing the book for Sunday, so we'll finish and discuss the entirety of the brief history of time on Sunday, which will be kind of cool. After that, I'll announce how far we're going to be reading of the next book, which will be In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. If you haven't gotten it, you should. We start this weekend after our live. And then we will take our summer hiatus then. I will continue reading, probably, hopefully. I'll try. And I'll let you guys know what I'm reading, but then we'll start again whenever, after the summer for season 4. So, I will see all of you on Sunday. Thank you for this little check-in. It was lovely. So keep reading, keep exploring, keep learning, keep questioning things, and keep being positive forces of change in your communities. As you probably know right now, those moments of connections are very, very important. So, continue. And who's getting wine for the live discussing Hawking's book? Since we're going to do it probably in midday, I think I'll have a mimosa. No wine for me. All right. I'll see you guys soon. Enjoy the rest of your week. And see you Sunday. Happy reading.